In this module, we will discuss the asterisk CLI, or command line interface. We'll focus for now on the basics of what the CLI is, why it's useful, and some of the things you can do with it. From there, we'll move on to discuss how to get help on the asterisk CLI, how to check asterisk status using the command line, and some other useful CLI commands. You can think of the asterisk CLI as an interactive control console. It lets you view information related to asterisk status, such as how many calls are active, which SIP phones are registered, and what dial plan applications are available. It also lets you directly control asterisk's behavior. You can hang up an active call, update configuration settings, or stop asterisk completely. So how do you get to the asterisk CLI? You can only connect to the CLI if asterisk is running. If you haven't yet started asterisk, you can run *-c as in console. This will start the asterisk program and put you on the asterisk CLI. This method of accessing the asterisk console is commonly used when testing or troubleshooting asterisk, because it shows exactly what happens when asterisk starts, which modules are loaded, and whether any warning or error messages are printed. To exit the console, when it is accessed in this way, you can stop asterisk by issuing the core stop now command. When connecting to the CLI with the -C option, there's not a clean way of exiting the console without stopping asterisk. The other way to access the asterisk CLI is to connect to an already running asterisk instance. This is done by running *-r. This won't display all of asterisk startup messages, but unless you're troubleshooting, you shouldn't need to see them anyway. Stopping asterisk will close the connection to the CLI, but there's a less destructive way of disconnecting when you use the -r method to reach the console. Typing exit or quit will close the asterisk command line and put you back on the Linux command line without stopping asterisk. This way, asterisk continues to process calls uninterrupted. You'll usually connect to asterisk using the -r method for this reason. If you don't have a lot of experience with Linux or asterisk, it can be hard to tell which command line you're on. The Linux command line is typically formatted in a specific way. Username, @host, : and then the present working directory, followed by a $sign if we're an unprivileged user, or a hash symbol if we're the root user. Here we're clearly on the Linux command line as the root user. Don't let this asterisk confuse you. I've set the host name for this machine to asterisk, which is somewhat common. Now let's start asterisk, and then connect to it using -r switch. When we first log into the asterisk console, we see several standard lines of text. These specify the asterisk version, the relevant copyright, warranty, and license information. Below that, we see the command prompt in the format hostname *CLI >. As described a moment ago, typing exit or quit closes the asterisk console and returns us to the Linux console. There are a few CLI commands you'll need to know early on. Among the most handy are the series of core show commands. These print information about asterisk for the administrator. Core show license indicates that asterisk is open source software licensed under the GPL version 2. Core show warranty reminds you that because asterisk is free software, there is no automatic warranty protection of any kind. If you're interested in support for asterisk, you might consider Digium's open source subscription offering. Core show version displays which asterisk release you're running. This is especially helpful if you maintain more than one asterisk server. It can be difficult to remember which system you're logged into, and checking the version may help keep things straight. Core show settings show several configuration settings for asterisk's core. Core show applications lists all of the applications which are currently available, along with a brief synopsis of what each application does in the dial plan. Finally, Core Show Channels outputs a list of currently active channels as well as a tally of how many calls have been processed since asterisk was last restarted. When there are active channels on the system, Core Show Channel, followed by the name of the channel, gives detailed information about that one channel. We've learned how to start asterisk and connect to its CLI, but we haven't yet learned how to stop it. The CLI provides a few different options for stopping or restarting asterisk. The simplest and fastest way of stopping asterisk is to run core stop now. Likewise, core restart now will stop and then restart asterisk. For either of these, all active calls are hung up and the asterisk console is closed. It's usually best to run core show channels before stopping asterisk, so you can see whether you're about to inadvertently hang up a live call. You can also stop or restart asterisk without being quite so direct. Core stop gracefully still stops the asterisk process, but not immediately. It rejects any new calls, but doesn't actually stop until all of the currently active calls end normally. If call volume is 0 when the command is run, asterisk will stop immediately. The command core stop when convenient is even less disruptive. It signals asterisk that a stop is requested, but it continues accepting any new calls and behaves normally. When call volume reaches 0, asterisk stops. The gracefully and when convenient options also apply with the core restart command. The core abort shutdown command will abort or stop a restart that was initiated with the gracefully or when convenient options. As we've seen, most asterisk configuration is expressed through text files that asterisk reads when the relevant module is loaded. It's important to remember that asterisk won't reread configuration unless it's explicitly told to do so. Restarting asterisk will always cause configuration to be read, but it's often the case that new configuration needs to be applied without bringing down the whole PBX. For most configuration changes, this is easily managed on the CLI. The simple CLI command reload is used as a catch-all for asterisk. It tells asterisk to reload all the modules and their configuration. This won't interrupt any live calls, but it can generate a lot of output on the screen and in your log files. As an alternative to reloading every module, you can specify one by one which modules to reload. For example, module reload chan sip.so updates configuration just for the SIP channel driver. You can reload several specific modules at the same time by listing them after the module reload command. A shortcut for reloading the entire dial plan is the command dialplan reload. Asterisk is capable of printing all kinds of informational status messages on the console. Sometimes these messages are crucial to understanding how asterisk is behaving. Other times, especially on a busy system, they're more of a nuisance. It's not unusual for an active asterisk system to display dozens of lines of console output each second. In order to control what output gets printed to the screen, there are two console commands you should know. Core set verbose lets you set the level of verbosity asterisk uses to decide what to print to the CLI. Core set verbose 0 turns verbosity off, and almost nothing will get printed to the screen. Core set verbose 1 prints only the most important information. Verbose 2 prints somewhat more. Verbose 3 prints even more, and so forth. Each status message available within asterisk has a predefined verbosity level, and will only be printed to the console if the console verbosity level is set at least as high as the verbosity level assigned to that message. Generally, verbosity levels range from 1 to 4. A rule of thumb is to set verbosity high when testing and troubleshooting, and to keep it low otherwise. By default, asterisk's logging subsystem will record many of the messages printed to the CLI. Thus, it's possible for log files to get very large and potentially fill available system space, causing system instability. Aside from verbose messages, there are also debug messages that can be displayed. Verbose messages generally relate to the administering of asterisk, while debug messages are more directed towards troubleshooting internal errors and problems. Debug messages follow the same pattern as verbose messages. Core set debug 0 turns off the printing of debug messages. Core set debug 1 prints only the most important messages, and so on. Debug messages normally range from 1 to 5. The verbosity and debug levels are shared among all CLI users. Two console users will see the same verbose and debug messages, and if one user adjusts the level, the new value applies for both users. In addition to verbose and debug classes of messages, asterisk can also print notices, warnings, and errors. Notices are generally informational only and don't indicate a problem. Reloading certain modules will cause a notice to be printed. Warnings are more serious and often indicate a problem of some sort. It's usually worth researching to find out why a warning was printed and correcting any problems found. Errors indicate a problem that may jeopardize the functionality of the entire system and should be resolved or at least understood right away. A best practice we recommend is to set verbosity and debug to at least 3 after making any significant changes to asterisk configuration. Start asterisk and read through all of the startup messages, identifying any notices, warnings, or errors, and resolving them if possible. There are two other CLI features worth knowing about. The first of these is the exclamation point, or bang, command. It's a shortcut for executing a Linux shell command while on the asterisk CLI. Though you can issue the command by itself, and be placed on a new Linux console. It's more typical and helpful to type the Linux command immediately following the exclamation point. A common use of this is to determine the IP address of the asterisk system by using the Linux command ifconfig. As you can see, ifconfig is not a valid asterisk command, but it is a valid Linux command, so that we can run it by putting the exclamation point in front of it. Note that after the Linux command is executed and its output printed to the screen, we find ourselves once again on the asterisk console. Another helpful feature is tab completion. You can press tab on the asterisk console at any time to see what commands are available. If you've already started typing a command and press tab, you'll see only the commands available that start with what you've already typed. This feature can save a lot of typing. One of the more common CLI commands is dialplan reload, which is 15 characters long and takes most people a second or two to type. Using tab completion, the same command can be issued in less than half the characters. It might only save a second or two, but the time saved can add up in a hurry. The asterisk CLI has dozens of commands, and we won't go through all of them in this course, so it's important for you to know how to learn more about what you can do on the command line. The asterisk CLI has a built-in help command that you should try out. At its simplest, you can just type help and get an alphabetical list of all the commands you can run. Help, followed by a command name, gives you the help text and syntax guide for that specific command. As you've now seen, the asterisk command line interface is a powerful tool for working with asterisk. It's your direct connection to running an asterisk system and lets you reload, restart, and stop asterisk. You can also pull asterisk for all kinds of status information and control what gets printed to the screen. It may take some getting used to, but it's definitely worth investing the time to learn your way around the asterisk console.